Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on How To, we're going to be discussing the RR&R, which is your repair, refuel, and rearm. Let's go ahead and talk about where you can do that and how you can do that. Once you begin your touchdown, you can go ahead and either hover above the pad, as of right now at least. In the game version 3.22, you don't have any actual physicalization to this, so there's no getting out and having to attach a hose to a refueling port. But you would just hover above the pad if you don't want the doors above you to close and you want to go in and out quick. Go ahead and hit F1 from here, hit the Vehicle Maintenance Service button, and choose what needs to be done. Right now, I don't need anything on these three options, so all I need to do is refuel my hydrogen. I'm going to go ahead and wait. It'll say processing. I can close this, and you can actually watch it fill up here on the right. Hydrogen, quantum, and you've got your ammo, and you've got your repairs. You'll be able to see down here if you got any red parts or anything. It'll flicker. It'll show you that it's been repaired. So at this time, you can go ahead and take off, and no need to shut the door and having to wait for it to reopen. Or you can just go ahead and set down completely.
Have a pleasant stay.
When you do land, it will shut the doors above you, or in front of you, or behind you, so just make sure that you request to take off again before you leave. The first thing you have to understand is where to go ahead and repair, refuel, and rearm your ship. Now there are 4 main planets: Microtech, Crusader, ArcCorp, and Hurston. Going to one of these planets, around them is typically a station like Port Tressler at Microtech, Seraphim over above Orizon, or if you go to ArcCorp and above Area 18, you got Bajini Point, and then of course above Hurston, you also have Everest Harbor. Now, those are the 4 main locations outside of a planet. You could also land on the planet, or you can go to any one of these rest stop locations, which is just basically where you go to sometimes buy different types of weapons for your ship, or components, or just a jump in between to refuel your ship. You got stuff like Crew L4. You can go to the Shadow Field stations, or you can jump to any one of these other locations that has a station and get refueled, rearmed, and repaired. Now, on certain planets, well, not certain planets, but all 4 planets actually have moons. And each moon typically has places that you can go ahead and get repaired, rearmed, and refueled. Like here on Daymar, you can go to Shubin Mining Facility SCD-1. And then over here, ArcCorp Mining 141. That's 2 great locations to go if you need to when you're in that area. Over time, you'll learn which moons have which pads and where they're located. Here is an example from my pilot seat of what I'm going to do to go ahead and refuel my ship. I've just pulled up to a station. Now I'm going to go ahead and deploy my landing gear after requesting to land.
Landing gear deployed.
I'm going to go ahead and pull right on in. Now, if I'm not in a combat situation, I'm going to fully put the spaceship onto the platform here.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
I like to turn off my engines, but that's just my thing.
Engines offline.
I'll go ahead and hit F1, and then I'll go to the Vehicle Maintenance Service tab here on the bottom. And I'll rearm and refuel everything that I need to do. Now, there is a fuel-borne ship called the Starfarer in the game, and that can actually refuel your ship in space, but it's not used so commonly currently because space stations and planets and everything else are so readily available. That's not to say it won't be used a ton once Pyro is released, which hopefully will be this year as they've said, but I guess we'll see. Sometimes in the current game, you could go to a station or a landing pad, and knowing you have plenty of things you need to do to your ship, like rearm it and refuel, the pads just won't work. It'll say no services required. That can be a frustrating issue, and when that does happen, there's really not much you can do. Sometimes leaving the area, coming back and trying to either hover above the pad or land again can fix the issue, but it's typically a bigger problem than that and with the pad at that current time. I've noticed that on certain stations you can go ahead and store your ship and then bring it back out and see if it allows you to do it then. But again, it's sometimes just a bigger issue server side or with that specific pad. Thank you guys for watching this how-to video on repairing, refueling, and rearming. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.